Hello YouTube and welcome to an amount of episodes of Girls und Panzer here today. Back here again today for some more Girls und Panzer. I say episodes because I'm unsure. I'm doing this a lot lately, I know. I'll see how the first one goes. If I talk about it for way too long, we might cut it short. I'm cognizant that that next week's Monogatari is going to be fucking massive. So I just gotta, pace myself a little bit, considering I have 10-hour shifts either side of this recording session as well, so potentially a little bit tired. Again, we'll see. My general understanding of this next episode is it's basically going to be a bunch of fighting, so maybe I'll have a lot to say, I don't know. I do not know. We'll get to see what a genuine start to finish Girls und Panzer fight sequence does, which will be interesting. A few little housekeeping things, mostly just thank yous again. Support on the series has been fantastic. I think the second video is like at 800 views, which is great for a follow-up. Means I'm getting some people to stick around from the first one, which is exactly what we want. People are subscribing. I've recently hit 600 subscribers, and I'm thanking that to Girls und Panzer. Basically, I can't think of much else that would have helped. Maybe a bit of Girls Last Tour as well. But yeah, broadly, thank you for all the support again. Yeah, you guys like Girls und Panzer, and you're really showing it. And again, there's like 24 comments here or something if I get them up. So, yeah, thank you. I've had a little bit of a scroll through the comments. We should be okay with me going through each one individually because most of them are fairly short. So, again, we'll see. First comment here from Yellow Jello. Some voice acting / character notes. Marco, Sleepy Girl. She's Miku in Symphogear. This one's the one that's blowing my mind the most because I'm like, what do you mean? Hey, she's got range. That's amazing. Okay, sure. And Sayori, the girl with the red hair and glasses, although she only wears the glasses sometimes, at least for now, is Kirika. Shoutouts to Kirika as well. I can kind of see that a little bit. I don't think either character here is overburdened with intelligence, to put it lightly. So again, they maybe track a little bit more than this one. So yeah, some Symphogear crossover, and Shinsasu going into another one again, which is Soroko, which is the girl on the kind of morals committee I'm implying, and her clones from the opening. It seems like she has some people that look very similar to her. She's played by Shiori Aizawa, who's the voice of Mika in Symphogear, who is the red autoscorer. I remember Mika like it was yesterday. And yeah, with a crap ton of female characters, essentially working in a very similar space, I'm surprised there isn't more crossover. I even see some similarities in the tone of the shows to the point where, again, I'm surprised there isn't more. And just as a bit of an extra, we have Yuka Gucci as like a very tired Marco in one of the extras or something. Just sounds like Miku being extra cute. So sure, like when you try to do one voice one way, it ends up another way. Next comment here, Mr. Seika. I'm going to say Seika. Here you experience the standard pacing of a Girls und Panzer match. Vast majority of them split into 2 episodes. You'll, start a match and then end a cliffhanger, raise tension, potentially again implying I'm going to watch 2 if it's going to be a 2-episode little fight sequence that we have, especially with a cliffhanger. But yeah, we'll see this emerge as a pattern, you would think, right? Different rival schools that will fight here and there. There's 12 episodes. You can just, pace it out from here pretty easily. Next comment, Ron Emeraldia. With the exception of Orai, I'm struggling with the double O. But all other schools are a stereotype of a specific nation, of course, St. Gloriana's being Great Britain, especially with all the tea stuff, and they're having a little tea party when we see, like, the pan over to them on the phone. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to keep an eye on that one as well. I wonder how the German country team will be. I do not know. Know the Black Forest Academy? Hang on. Black Forest is a mountain range in Germany. I thought it was somewhat German adjacent. Keep an eye on that. Maybe they're the German team. It would match with the uniforms at least. Next comment here from Ilias. The first 3 episodes are basically just set up for the universe. It's at episode 4 onward that the action picks up. We've kind of established the stakes and what we have going on and the character stuff. Now it's time to just fight. Okay, I'm happy to see some fights. Sure. I liked the stuff before the fights too, so either way is good. And yeah, the 3D will get better as we continue, which I'm sure they'll get more and more used to it. I'm surprised there wasn't more of this kind of stuff, just going into a bit more of the history of it, with Shinsasu here filling in some stuff. So specifically, I think Yukari says something about Rommel at some point. It's the cosplay of one of the history otakus as well. mentioned in episode 2, romanticized a bit in modern times. Large grain of salt, but potentially one of the good ones. Yeah, the good ones, right? I don't know about that. So often portrayed as, yeah, again, one of the good ones. The current historical view of him is that he was a loyal general who followed orders, but not the party in views and actions, right? How much is how much is that the same thing? I don't know. Again, it's all up to interpretation. That's all history is, really. So Rommel, and specifically his popularity in Japan, was part of the African campaign, right? So reported, broadcasted in Japan all the time. He's like the great German general in Japan's view. One of the main characteristics that he gets memed about was great, like, tactics, the battle, but less the strategy, which is the overall war. So yeah, he would chase people down, but then, get stranded in the middle of nowhere and be like, again, good moment to moment. Overall, big picture, macro, a little bit more poor. Next one up here is we have the Bible. I'm going to say Bible. It's basically the manual, right? It's the name for a very beginner school book to learn reading. So if somebody gets a Panzer IV Bible, which Marco does last episode, or yeah, last episode I think it was. Then yeah, it's basically Panzer for Dummies, Panzer for Dummies. Get it? So yeah, I mean, it's kind of a bit of a funny joke that she's reading the manual as she's already operating it. That's, again, maybe showcases her brilliance a little bit more. Next comment here, Fefega. I'm gonna say Fefega. The History Club is my favorite group. They're definitely entertaining on screen. I'll give you that. Again, somebody talks about it later, I believe. They're just kind of big old nerds, and they're just talking in their own very insular language in a way that I can relate to, because that's what I do with all my friends as well. We're just a million in jokes that nobody can understand. Either way, we get a more concrete idea of which, I guess, historical figure each of them are representing. I might even copy this and put it into my notes. And specifically following on from the last comment, Erwin is Rommel. Gotcha. The other two, to my knowledge, would be Japanese names. So sure. They're a little bit more, again, specific to the culture that they're from. Makes sense, right? We go into a little bit more of the tanks here. I do specifically remember a tank without a turret. There's just kind of like a machine gun on top of them or something. So yeah, to my knowledge, there's a tank that like can't rotate, and there's a tank with like a gun that without a proper turret, I think. And then Panzer IV is good tank, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of history behind this, and I think there's, again, if you're like a big old tank nerd, you're probably loving this. And I know there's some people like that I know. So maybe they'll get a lot out of this. Maybe I should recommend it. In a similar vein, we have the comment from Take a Name here. Just super nice. Thank you, I guess. Never been taught how to peel with a knife. No, no, I use like a potato peeler or a vegetable peeler or something. I'd imagine I could pick it up, but I also don't want to cut myself, so I'm not going to try. Okay, so no, I was wrong about this. So the history weirdos have the one that doesn't have a turret, so it can't like rotate. But then the volleyball team has like the weakest gun, and then the 6 girls who are all freshmen. I guess we're calling them the freshman crew. 2 main guns, one on top, one on bottom. Maybe one of those is weaker, potentially. I just seem to remember somebody shooting a machine gun at some point, and I was like, it's a bit mad. And Momo is a terrible shot. At least for now, what we're going to see, the baby steps, we're improving. I Sensor Alpha, next comment here, shouting at the Yukari tank corners as being kind of cool. Just, talking about tanks. Maybe that'll help increase my historical knowledge about the subject. And yeah, they're pretty short, could probably react to them all at once. But again, it's just kind of like, we'll see. We'll see what people want. The other thing I'll say is, obviously, if I'm going to do 2 episodes today, it's going to be 4 and 5. I'm going to be waiting on those OVAs. I'm not going to watch them in the middle of everything, which I know a couple of comments go into. And apparently there's a YouTube series called The History of Girls und Panzer that goes into various aspects with an episode or 2 for each portion of the series. Oh, and also the kicking, apparently not realistic. But the kicking sounds cool, so I hope we kick it. Kick it? I hope we keep it, if I can speak properly. Next comment here from I Love Baguettes, which I guess I agree with. Just go release order and don't watch chronologically. Probably going to do that. It's pretty safe with basically every show you watch, outside of Monogatari, but anyway. The main series itself has a polish that the episodes, well, the OVA episodes, just don't really have, which again is pretty standard. The best example of this is some of the good character animation stuff that we see with the student council VP listing the benefits of joining the Senshido little group we have, and the amazing facial expressions to indicate excitement. Yeah, anime stuff, like actual good anime stuff. Yeah, and as I said last week, there was a couple of really good pop-off moments for the character animation that I really enjoyed. So yeah, the personal order recommended here is main series into OVAs, into Anzio OVA, into movie OVAs. And then we'll go from there. Pretty sure it's one of the orders I have in my doc. And apparently it isn't like a traditional recap episode, but they are still skippable, so I'm probably going to watch 5.5 in my own time some point throughout the week and then probably get back to you guys. We'll see. PCJ with some more tank stuff, basically. Kind of indicating that the show's for World War II history lovers with und Panzer in the title. Of course, you would see that and go, this is probably for me. And yeah, I am aware of the, I guess, subculture around history tank stuff, right? It's kind of like airplanes. You find people that are like really into airplanes or trains, and I'm like, sure, go off. Tanks are a bit cooler than trains, I'll give you that. And yeah, potentially we'll see. I guess we've got like a mismatch of tanks right now within the within our club, but as we go to these different schools personified by different nations, only using British tanks such as the Churchill and Matilda, shout-outs to Australia. Yeah, we'll see that change as we move through. Again, I broadly see a theme in the show about where like the ragtag group, we're fighting like the establishment of Senshido in a way, right? That's what I'm saying. Kelvin Cawthorn, next comment here regarding the white flag, which is something that I asked about last week. It is raised automatically. So basically, like, we have an internal microchip that when a shell hits a tank, it sends data to the black box located inside. Then they calculate various factors and determine if it would have penetrated and murdered them or not. This system works similarly to the real-life Miles technology used by many arms forces around the globe for training. Okay. So, yeah, essentially, like, this is how we keep the show from getting super violent, basically, right? There's a system that surrenders for you, which is good. I don't want the girls to die. That would be bad. It would be a very different kind of show. And apparently this information is from the recap episode 10.5, which we potentially will see at some point. Zen Jamibu, next comment here. Just kind of clarifying something that I thought I already knew, which is that episode 2 and 3's training stuff was on the school ship, but now that they're docking, it'll be on real land. Again, it's pretty obvious they docked at the end of episode 3, so now there's a change there. They're going to move on to the land. What else are the tanks crossing in that sequence as well? So yeah, we're training on our ship, and then all the schools on ships. We'll have to watch for that too. But yeah, I got that far, I think. Karl Clausewitz, next comment here. About Das Finale. They get released in theaters in Japan, then 6 months later there's a fan sub. So look for that in, I guess, April 2024, if this movie's coming out October 2nd, which isn't that far away, actually, which is a little bit interesting. Apparently, each of these segments get released every 2 years, so potentially 2027 is the last we're going to see of Girls und Panzer. And yeah, as a history dork, love the history team. I just love them because they're weirdos. That's basically where I'm at. A couple of extra comments by both Mr. Saker and Kelvin Cawthorn, essentially just giving the, I guess, a little bit of trivia stuff. So Sayori asks, what's that about panties? Panzer 4, right? Several of the voice actors thought that this was going to be like a horny thing. And it isn't. It's just for tanks. If you're horny for tanks, then you'll be into it. But, like, most of the show's fan service free. There's been bits here and there. Again, I'm not adverse to the subject, really, if it's handled well. And no panty shots, sure. I'm watching a show at the moment on the channel that has a lot of panty shots, but anyway, that notwithstanding, side material such as manga and promotional art is very different fan service wise. So again, you win some, you lose some, I guess. I think, yeah, ecchi would get in the way of what the show's going for right now. It's pretty wholesome. It's a pretty like tight knit friend group at the moment, so throwing a bunch of like boobs into it wouldn't really do much for me. Yeah, and again, I don't think that like the bikini stuff in episode 2 is very strong fan service. It's more of a joke than anything else, as we explain here. Seraph Armoros, the instructor, just casually dropping a tank in the middle of the parking lot and crushing a car for good measure is peak ridiculousness. Well, if we're comparing it to another show with peak ridiculousness, I think we have a long way to go. But yeah, that's some of the stuff I like. The more goofy, the better, I think. Joseph White, next comment here. Glad to see another first-time reactor. Well, glad to see you here as well. The show is just such an amazing feel-good show. I agree so far. And Orai is the real town in Japan. They've embraced the culture of the show and that kind of thing. You see this a lot with popular anime based on a specific location, that they'll kind of, use it for tourist clout, essentially, which isn't a bad thing. I mean, is the town on a boat? I wouldn't imagine so. I think I would have heard about that. Yeah, this was the comment I was alluding to earlier from Eben, where, again, they just make no sense sometimes, which is, it tracks. It tracks with me and my friend group for sure. There's also something to say about the show trying to ease in people who know nothing about tanks into a sport about tanks. Yes, it is difficult. I'm such a person. But we're getting there. We're getting there. We're gonna keep on trucking with the tank stuff. In a similar vein, we have Darth Katota's comment here. So good to see a non-history fan watching this for the first time. Should I put that in the title? Like, non-history fan reacts to Girls und Panzer? That'd be kind of funny. Apparently, I'm going the right way with my analysis, and I should keep going. When you end it, maybe you'll get all the messages that it's trying to say. Potentially something hidden at the moment. We'll have to go and see. And a very simple last comment here from Akamine. I'm going to say Akamine. I see Girls und Panzer, I subscribe. And many other people did. Again, broadly, thank you for doing so. So I added like a few more character names as we went. So I've actually got names for Nerdy Girl and Book Sleepy Girl, which is Yukari and Mako respectively. We have Momo, who's the one with glasses. I don't think we got any of the other student council members, at least for now. We'll say. There's Sodoko, who's the uptight girl. There's Chono Ami, who's the instructor. And then, again, I copied this from the comment earlier with all these girls. And yeah, that's about it. There was one more that I'm missing, I thought. Maybe not. Maybe I'm lying. Either way, these are the basically what the groups are. Let's say cute freshmen. Freshmen? I do not know. Freshman. But other than that, I don't really have much else. I didn't write any notes specifically. Let's try a little bit of a recap, which is, hey, we're going to fight St. Glorianas, right? We're a ragtag group of tanks at the moment. We're fighting the establishment. We've got different colors, and they think that's kind of humorous. There's all the internal stuff with Miho, of course, that we have to have a look at. About her rising to the occasion. She's commanding all of the tanks at the moment. She's the main force there. We're going to see if she can stand up in this moment. It's probably going to be some emotional stuff around, I guess, coping with this amount of pressure in kind of reference to what she went through before. Let's say that. So yeah, of course, we have the family stuff brewing in the background there that I don't really think we'll go into. I'm pretty sure we're going to follow that structure that was talked about in the comments. We're going to fight for a bit and maybe cliffhanger us and then fight for a bit more. We're going to say. Either way, I'll get that episode up now, but not without my shill stuff. So if you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord. Talk about Girls und Panzer in the Discord. And I don't know, it's cool. Join Discord, it's cool. And yeah, episode 4 of Girls und Panzer coming up right now. Rightio, I have episode 4 of Girls und Panzer up there ready to go. 24 minutes and 11 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly. I'll have that picture-in-picture in the description below, and I'm using the AK Submarines version of the show. So, that subset, I guess. Either way, just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Rightio? 3, 2, 1, go. I just feel my wind. A little bit loud. Let's go there, I think. It's normally my headphones on my head that get loud more than the episode itself, but I digress. Yeah, I wanted to talk about it before as well, but the cast of the show and I guess the relationships there are really growing on me. So keen to see that, I guess, extrapolate into some real combat here today. Still don't know what the hell they are, but anyway. Also keen to see these characters. So we'll see. If I hear you say nya, I'll know what we're doing. That was cool. Are we like wearing like actual uniforms there? Yeah, at least a little bit more official. Now that I know each of these schools is based off a country too, I'll have to like guess them. Yeah, I like this uniform that they're wearing now for sure. Which I'll have to see if it's the one they're wearing. No, I'm pretty sure they're just in their uniforms now, like their normal uniforms. Yeah, this is a big episode 1 vibes for sure. I don't know. The different ways they said the same thing. Sneaky beaky? Okay. They're just chilling. Okay, sure. I think they think it's going to be very easy. They mightn't be wrong. Yeah, they're very calm. I'll give them that. Yeah, it looks like 4 of the same tank with a different one leading. I'm imagining Churchill and Matilda we mentioned in the comments. I remember this. That's just like a V, I don't know. Okay, then I mean that's impressive. The two that actually know what they're doing. That's funny. It's a different shot of the first shot of the show. Interesting. Yeah, I remember that angle. And then, yeah, we're just going to reuse it. Fair enough. Definitely looks the same. We didn't play the full shot. They're all just drinking tea the entire time. I feel like they're going to be a bit quicker with the shot. Let's say that. Oh, well, that's bad. We don't want that. Well, from the end of episode 1 sequence, you like get shot in the head or something. See if it plays out the exact same way. Well, one of them is. Yeah, this shot, right? No, we're fine. Okay. We didn't get our head blown off. That's good. Yeah, you're sticking at the top. I don't want you to get domed. But this is standard. I think this is standard, right, from what you've been brought up as. Stop playing volleyball. Get in the tank. They got to get their heads in the game. Oh, not the lawn chair. Get over it, basically. No. Are they stupid? And that also gave away the ambush. Yeah, just dodge, basically. It's looking bad for our heroes. Just contrast, right? The picture of calm versus whatever the hell Momo's doing. Do they all always have like stormtrooper aim? Don't leave the tank. Well, that's a white flag. Yep. Okay, you guys are done. And that's another one. The student council president's a crack up. Dead. Pretty much dead. Okay, thank you, friends. I feel like Marcos is a little bit out of obligation than anything else. Okay, then the next stage. Okay, now it's a 3v5. Okay, let's go chat. Where are we, by the way? I thought we were in like the wilderness, and now we're just on like a road. I guess that's the way they said clear the street. Who's paying for all the damage? Anyway, it's anime. Who cares? This is cool. This is like some like watching like long distance like running or like the Tour de France or something. Like just like roadside watching it take place. They're so structured. Okay. Well, I didn't see where they went either. We're going to do some sneaky style tactics here. Okay, well, that's one. Didn't need to turn for that one. Did they get baited? Behind you? Teleports behind you. Nothing personnel. Tank. Not the mirror. We're winning. All right, now it's a 3v3 again. It was no, not the T. It was a very sneaky tactic, right? Sneaky beaky. Well, not with the flags. Is it going to turn into a 1v3 very quickly? Oh, so is it a 4v1? Yeah, because they didn't actually take him out. Is that because their gun's weak? I remember reading that. Alright, let's go Marco. Whoa, what is this? Oh, this stuff looks great. Yo, yeah, the first person's doing it. It's like some initial D. Oh, so you want them to crash into your place? That's funny. Okay, that's bad. Time to go through this person's house, I guess. I think it's looking increasingly bad. I definitely have heard that one. It's behind me somewhere. How did we repair it? No way. It worked as a distraction though. They're like me. I'm in any like video game or anything, just terrible aim. Terrible. Like all time bad. So the tactics side, pretty okay. The execution, no. Well, I thought you were gonna ram them. Okay, one down. Let's go. I think we're winning. Just did like a handbrake turn in a tank. No, Zigmore. Okay. We're sick? Okay, how did that end up? I think we're fucked. Yeah. Oh well. We we gave it a good go. I think it would have been a little bit too anime if we just won. So we'll see. That's didn't really follow the structure. I thought. I thought that we were going to continue the battle. Hey, you guys didn't get you guys didn't get destroyed. Yes. Not Maho. Oh hell no. Oh yeah, of course. I predicted this last week. I forgot about the dance. Oh, everyone? What? Not on a truck in front of the whole town. They're all kind of hitting it though. All right, we got that over pretty quickly. We should do about 3 OVAs, I reckon. Oh yeah, we brought up Grandma last week. Whoa, what is that poster? Family. A male character? This is a male character? Or Jaw? Are you like a rich girl? It would track if you're a rich girl, actually. Mother? Yes. Okasama. Oh my god. There's my friends. Oh. You shouldn't have said that. Yeah, you fucked up. You smell like motor oil. I didn't expect this to be a storyline, sure. Man, I'm dead. Okay, sure. This has come on very quickly. Oh, we all have our secrets. Potentially you should have told us you were keeping a secret, but that's fine. Oh, family stuff, right? That's where Miho's gonna come into it. Okay. Thank you, dude. You're very passionate. I can like both. This is actually a really good answer. Yeah, but is life flower arrangement? Maybe it is. Not again. Yes, they all have these things. I don't know. Shut up. You don't get it. Okay. I mean, how old is she? Whoa! Holy fuck. I'm disowning you? I'm gonna go then. We did bring up dorms. Where will you live? Okay. Well, I will send Shadow so hard and convince her. Yeah, I feel like that side could have been developed better. Like the Miho's learnings from all of this. Oh, she's cool. Bro, you're not the thinker. What? Because you guys were bad. It's okay. You guys get better. Okay. It's okay. To our new friend? Let's go. Okay. Is there like a league or something? Okay, why do you know that? But sure. Yes. That's why sports are cool. Oh, we're going to Love Live. What is 8? Who are we fighting? I can't read. Oh, Sanders? Sure. Colonel? Oh, Maho's just here too. Okay. And they're like cheering. I mean, I'd have to imagine America. It's like has a fly upon his nose. I know this probably has like a proper song attached to it, but this melody. Hey, there's the AD. Who's going to be in the tank this time? We have to wait a little bit now to remember. Okay. That was the fastest paced we've gotten. That was almost like Symphogear tier pacing, which is very, very fast. Like the manner in which we introduce conflicts and get rid of conflicts is breakneck. We do not waste a second. Okay, volleyball team. But I can't say I didn't enjoy it. Lots of little funny moments, lots of cute little tactical things during the battles, if that's what we can expect. The thing I was worried about is a lot of it would be, I guess, just tank v tank and not using the environment as much. But when they started doing that kind of stuff, it clicked a lot better for me. Because formations and open battlefields and stuff, right? It's cool, but I'm more like all the sneaky hit and run stuff they did towards the end was a little bit better. And I'd love to see again a match like that extrapolated out longer, because it's like the odds stacking against one person or the other person is like one person in the team loses, and it'll turn into like a 5v3 or a 2v4 or something. Yeah, that's when it becomes interesting, or more interesting, I should say. Oh, look at those cake tanks. Okay. Yeah, jumping into a little bit of analysis on episode 4. So yeah, that was a very fastly paced episode 4 of Girls und Panzer, where we fought St. Gloriana's academy. I don't know if there's more words there, but and we lost. And I predicted last week, now I'm remembering, that we would lose because of the whole angler dance angle. Pardon the pun. What I'm a little bit frustrated about is the pace. A little bit. It has its advantages, it has its disadvantages, right? We're going to get through a lot of content in a 12-episode season as a result. I guess we could have focused a little bit more on the Miho side of it, right? Like the emotional side of, hey, I lost. Oh shit, we lost. That feels bad. How am I going to cope with this? What are the repercussions of this? What have been the repercussions in the past? How will they impact the future? How are my friends going to help me with that? All these things I think we missed. Even, again, the angler dance as a little bit of a, I guess, manifestation of a bad thing happening when you lose. And how, when a bad thing happens when you lose, but I'm doing it with my friends, it's better. I just think we could have went that direction a little bit more and produced a stronger, more insular episode as a result. We kind of do a lot. We kind of introduce a new conflict, a new I guess, league system, a new conflict for Hana involving her doing some weird family stuff with old mate, the like manservant. I don't know what that was about. The mum just being ridiculous and stereotypical, and yeah, I don't know. It was fine. It was okay. Again, I just think that again we're not nailing the correct part there. Where I think again there should be more focus on how Miho interprets that situation, right? Of family, I guess, expectation getting in the way of Senshido and the Senshido that we want to play. But along the way, we get some great character moments and a little bit of humor sprinkled in as well. And again, we're progressing quickly. It's a double-edged sword, right? There's good and bad stuff to it. Either way, yeah, I'm just gonna jump in and rewatch the episode really and talk about what I liked and what I didn't like and that kind of thing. I think the whole time Miho is very good. She's very good at this, right? It's clear that she's done it before. It's clear she's the most talented one here, tactically and I guess commanding wise and everything else, right? She's clearly the one to take us forward and lead our crew. Again, there was no, I guess, up and down to it. It was already flat. She was competent, and then she ended up competent. And we lost, but it was an honorable loss. Like, there wasn't a point where we're like failing and we dive down and there's something that needs to pick us back up. I feel like it's a little bit one note in that regard. But as a result, also not particularly cliche. So, but then the stuff at the end with the mother's kind of cliche. Anyway, whatever, it's fine. And yeah, we do Operation Sneaky Beaky. The first level to it is essentially what Momo described on the whiteboard, which is we're going to use Panzer IV as a decoy and bring them into this gorge, and then everyone's just going to shoot at them. We didn't account for them having like stormtrooper aim, or you know, this being the most simple tactic potentially ever. And a experienced group of campaigners such as Saint Glorianas are going to know that immediately. I don't know. We just didn't account for that. But once we get out of that structure, it gets a little bit better. I want to talk about this school, St. Gloriana's. The T. The T is a metaphor. Their, I guess, gentle persona, their gentlemanly tactics, for lack of a better word, potentially indicative of Great Britain as well. Obviously, the rules of engagement, kind of. What's the classic story? Like in World War One, right? You would have like people just casually marching at the enemy, right? During a war, during a genuine war, and they just all get mowed down. But it's like that's how we did war. And if you didn't do war the correct way, you were breaking the rules, right? It's where the saying comes from this episode, right? There's no rules in love and war. Or all is fair in love and war. That's the correct saying. It took me a little bit there, but it was a learning that the British had to make. The teacup specifically, right? The teacup's very calm, and then shatters at a certain point when we get surprised, when we get ambushed by Allrai Academy. If I compare the chaotic comms that we had from Miho and the gang versus just all go. We're all going to go, right? And then we jump straight into the start of episode 1. Same dialogue and all, just a different shot initially, and a few interspersed same shots in it as well. Oh, our AP shells won't be able to, I guess, penetrate their armor. That's what happens at the end as well. Interesting. Exact same shot plays out, but we don't continue that sequence, instead jumping a little bit ahead. We see Hana making the calculations there before taking the shot, rattles the first tank, and then we respond. We see the Panzer IV and we're all going to follow it. No matter how fast we drive our tanks, we never drop a single drop of tea as we continue speeding after the Panzer IV, complimenting them a little bit as we go. Oh, they're better than we expected, considering they, created their club like a week ago. Essentially, we get the payoff for this shot during the first episode. It was nothing. Nothing happened really beyond, Sayori suggesting that she should get down, and she's like, "Well, chances are I'm not going to get hit, right? But I guess it is kind of unsafe to be sticking your head out like that. Maybe that's the lack of self-preservation that has been, expected by her family up to this point. I don't know, but either way, she's not concerned, but comes down kind of out of obligation for Sayori. I guess the concern over her well-being. Again, we'll need to see a flashback to the family stuff for me to make any more inferences. Now, this frustrated me, right? Like, I don't know, why are we all just playing around? I guess it got boring waiting, but Get your head in the game, please. Like, I don't know, some practice shots maybe? I don't know. I thought that this may have been the storyline as well, but we didn't really go there. There's a theme in Girls and Panzer. They set up some, I guess, pretty rote storylines and then don't do them. Like, this is the setup for, having your head out of the game and not being focused, leading to your downfall. But that's not really what happens. We just kind of just miss. I thought that would come quicker than we thought, and it would ruin everything. We wouldn't be in position. But no, we just communicate with them. Like, we'll be about 3 minutes away, so get ready. And then everyone gets ready. I guess one part of it is firing at our own tank because we're stupid. At least Momo's a bad shot. So they failed to land a shot on their own tank, and then they failed to land a shot on the enemy tanks. I think we just need to go to, like, aim school. So yeah, we continue to miss, yelling fire, fire, fire. But if we miss, then we're fucked. So I guess I don't think we demonstrated here that the tactic was bad. I think we just demonstrated that our aim was bad. Maybe they avoided us, and we should put some respect on St. Gloriana's for dodging. But I don't know. I just think we suck. And then we, successfully do some kind of pincer maneuver here, and then we're essentially fucked. I didn't know how we didn't wipe here, basically. We see the first years, the freshman group, leave their tank and run out onto the battlefield, which again, I can't imagine is safe. But yeah, results in that tank going down. So now it's a 5v4. It looks to be a 3v5 here, or a 5v3, I should say, when the kind of, again, treads come off the tank here. How do they get these reattached? I don't know. I think that St. Gloriana's needs to learn that what's the thing? Double tap, right? If you kill a zombie, shoot it in the head again. Make sure we check on all the different teams, and most of them are fucked. But I mean, we get out of here. We take control. What should we do? It's up to you, Commander. Fire, fire, fire at anything in sight. Tactical genius, by the way. Why were you leading the tactics? Anyway, but then, okay, we have this, right? Again, I think we should just emphasize this a little bit more, where, what should we do? What should we do? And then we turn to both Hana and Sayori, and we're like, oh yeah, we'll do whatever you say. Doesn't matter. We're following you 110%, right? There's no wrong answer here. And then we go off and do our thing. Again, just think it needs more emphasis. It's there. Just focus on it a little bit more. And we commence Operation Sneakier Beakier, where the 3 tanks that are left, kind of, there's 4, but the 3 that can move go off, and we make our way to the town and use the town for our tactics. This is where I think the tactics of the episode get a little bit stronger, which again, that's what they're meant to do within the story structures, so that's good. I had the question of who pays for all the damage. It seemingly is some kind of governing body, right? Because old mate says his shop's going to be renovated now because it got hit, so you'd think that would pay for damages. Which is like, how much money do the Senshiro people have? But anyway, these are the questions we're not meant to ask. I do like the vibes when we're kind of out on the road and the people are watching. Again, I said similar to like the Tour de France and that kind of thing, right? Yeah, like this, right? That would just be cool. I would go watch a match. That'd be kind of tight. Again, the whole time, St. Gloriana's still holding the tea. And we're sneaking through town, waiting. I like this tactically because the first shot here, I think the history team, their tank works because it can't move, but I think it's really powerful in the gun, right? I think if it both can't like move and like it's not very powerful, then what are we doing? I think like getting or luring tanks into like sneaky locations and hitting them with max power is just like a cool tactic. Yeah, this is what we want, right? This is cool. I do like how the flags end up in their own demise as well. I think that's very funny. I don't know whatever the hell this is some fucking Evangelion fucking climb down into the shelter type shit. But I don't know why it's here, but I think it sets up a good gag. So this is why this tactic doesn't work in my opinion, because they have a weak gun, right? So this sneaky stuff isn't going to work as well for them. They need to just be like a little bit more mobile and hit and run, I think. The mirror is a great touch though for this tank, like seeing it raise up behind them. Perfect. So we got one over here, but we see this one that we shot and no flag. So I think they think that they've won, but they didn't. And that's where we see the teacup smash. Right there. Big old metaphor, right? Our veneer of cool, I guess, and calmness is being shattered as well, right? We what's the word? We took the gloves off. It's time to actually game. We're going to take shelter in the back street, weave through the side streets. The Stog 3 has a low profile. Not anymore. Yeah, good old hubris. So yeah, it becomes a 4v1 very quickly, as the volleyball team are taken out as well by the tank they didn't quite finish off. And for now, we're just going to lose the enemy. And yeah, I like how matter-of-fact Marco is about it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm just going to move. Bye. And then, yeah, this is one of the most impressive shots in the show so far, one of the best looking. I love the first-person stuff here. It's a ton of CG involved. But again, I just think it looks fantastic. It's using the best of what we have. How are we doing these backgrounds so well is my question, right? Yeah, that looked great. That looked fantastic. Huh. More of that, please. That camera angle specifically through the streets, like weaving. Looks great. We drive ourselves into a bit of a predicament here as there's a road closure, and it's legit like a cowboy standoff, like 4v1. Like, what are you going to do? So things look bad for our heroes. They're quoting English sayings at us, which is just terrible. However, we're going to get out of the situation. To the rescue, we have the student council, who have repaired the treads and make their way in. It's a pretty good hype moment for the episode. I do also like how it falls on its face from you just being unable to shoot anything. Just miss. Just a straight up miss. Just like this trajectory. Like, what are you doing? What are you trying to hit? And then they just get railed. And it's over. But either way, the Panzer IV uses the distraction to, again, escape. Drive to the right, hug the wall. We know that we kind of looked through a side street. We saw a tank coming from this way, and we time it perfectly and get our shot off and get one, right? And then very quickly after, we see a similar tank, and we use almost like a handbrake turn around, and yeah, just good stuff, right? Like predictive. It seems like you've done this before. You're really taking the reins. Marco's kind of sick with it. She's gone crazy. We haven't missed as many shots as all the other team as well, so Hana's picking up her, I guess, end of the bargain. And then we get to this big old tank, right? And we can't use the same tactic again, basically, right? Where we try to shoot it and the rounds don't pierce the hull, I guess. We retreat in a zigzag formation before hitting like a similar handbrake turn and getting really close. It'll be a feint, get us on the enemy's right flank, and once I give you the signal, we'll shoot. Yeah, sick turn there. Big old, close up 1v1 all or nothing, and we lose. Our tank got crushed, shattered, destroyed. But this one's on fire too, so it wasn't that far away. And the instructor doesn't seem too sad about all the tanks being immobilized. I think, yeah, this is a pretty expected step. All the tanks are taken away. You know what that means? We have to do the anglerfish dance. We have this small moment as well before that, though, where the commander over at St. Gloriana's comes over to congratulate Miho, which is nice, right? It's a genuine sign of respect. It's something that a school based on the British people would do because it's very, very respectful. At least some of the time with British people, but anyway. The major part here is the connection to Maho and the difference there, right? So this is the most fun I've had with a tank match in a while. This was great, right? It's meant to be fun, right? With my friends, we're meant to be having fun. And we maybe lost sight of that along the way, especially in comparison to Maho, who may be all tactics, no fun. And very by the book in that regard. Yeah, quite different than Maho, we said. And as agreed, you'll perform the anglerfish dance. Now, all of us are to blame for the outcome, so everybody has to do the dance. And here it is, everybody's doing the dance. Well, not really everybody. The student council are responsible too. I think these are two history club people doing the drums, so maybe everyone's involved. The dance isn't even that bad. I guess the costume's the worst part, which is very skin tight, but I digress. I will cross this sea to meet that girl. I'm not sure I need to read the song. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be some bullshit. Maybe I guess I could see how it's embarrassing, but sure. Just get over it. The student council just loving it. Everyone thinks it's embarrassing, but they're just going for it. Yeah, and again, very quick. That was 15 seconds or something. Where again, I think you could play that out a little bit more, have some nervousness before they go out and perform, and then say, oh, it's all okay because we're friends. We just kind of just don't do that, and we move into a different storyline very quickly. Another one here that's a bit weird is Marco just leaves and goes to her grandma's, and we're just okay. That could be a direction for this to go, still trying to integrate you into the group a little bit more. But no, we double down on Hana. So we see this guy, and he meets eyes with what we think is Sayori, but it's not, which is a good Sayori gag. Instead, it's Hana. This is like the servant of her house. She's a rich person. I think he calls her Ojo, which again is like princess. So like, I don't know. It's a bit weird, but yeah. I mean, I don't know why I didn't see it before. She's your pretty prototypical like rich girl in our little 5 girl group, just exceedingly nice. And then we see the mother, and then we go into our whole flower arrangement thing where she faints, which is just ridiculous. But sure, we're going with it. So initially, we don't reveal that. So maybe these two know, and we just didn't see it. But you definitely don't know because you just speak up about Senshido. We do Senshido together. Senshido bad. We don't like Senshido. And it turns into your pretty prototypical, like, I don't know. Again, I hate to keep I feel like I bring it up every week. Chihaya Furu, there's literally a character with the same storyline, like literally. And it's handled way better because, it doesn't happen in like 30 seconds. Yeah, it's your pretty typical, disapproving parent storyline. The interesting part is how it reflects on you. And I think that's what we should dive into more, and we didn't really have the opportunity to do that this episode. Again, are we just playing it for laughs? Because she like smells oil on her hands, and that's like meant to be like a big reveal. That's funny. I guess when you do flowers all day, you would smell something different, and you have a really good sense of smell early in another episode. So like, I don't know, it's a little bit funny. And then she dies, which is sad. I wish she actually died. That'd be funny. Are we gonna pay off on the "you're not welcome in this house" stuff? We brought up dorms at a previous point. Are we gonna dorm at some point? I do not know. What's this guy's name? Senshi Baro or something? He seems like he's chill. He says you should tell her how you feel, and then she does, but it ends poorly, and then you think you're to blame for it. Yeah, just a very passionate manservant person. Sure. I just think there was a million different things you could do here that are just better, even if they are conventional. You could have the friends walk in and justify her position for her, or just extrapolate it out longer and have a real conversation. We could, I guess, pay off again a little bit more on the isolation here, on the kicking out, by bringing you into a dorm. I just think we haven't done anything with it yet. Maybe that's still coming. Like, despite everything, we're going to stick together with this. But we continue to focus on the flower arranging side of it too. It's not a, like, I hate flower arranging, so I went and did Senshido. It's to complement my flower arranging, which should be something that the mother's happy about. So, like, I don't know. So you already think the flower arrangements are neat and beautiful, but again, Hana thinks they're lacking an edge. I don't know. I guess when we show her one that is even more beautiful and neat, or maybe the opposite of neat, as a result of the Senshido, that she'll start to be a believer. Again, everything through the lens of flower arrangement, which is sure. Perfectly embodying Isuzu's style, though, is very pointed. That's obviously like reference to Nishizumi's style from Miho. Yeah, we do get like interspersed some shots of Miho reacting, if I can grab one. Yeah, here, right? Like, oh, this is something potentially I should have done in the past with my family situation. Again, we're waiting on the shoe to drop on that meeting again with the family, or a flashback episode, or something like that, right? She almost faints again and then says all tanks should be turned into scrap metal. And then Yukari's reaction to that information is fantastic as well. I guess, yeah, the focus is just on different stuff, right? It shouldn't be someday I'll create a flower arrangement that will open her mind. I don't care about flower arrangements, I care about tanks and the friend group. It should be, yeah, flower arrangements are nice, but I'm not giving up this thing we've created. That would result in a stronger message for me. Again, more rote, but stronger, I think. For right now, it's just a little bit weird. Again, like it's very obviously pointed, like replace flower arrangement with Senshido and then apply it to Miho's situation, and potentially that's giving her some inspiration. But outside of that, I just think it falls a little bit flat. Yeah, Isuzu-stan, I'll work hard too. Right? On the similar things, on your baggage. I think you realize that too. That's a little bit nicer. I like that. And then we have like, what are you doing? She's just kind of looking out, being cool. I kind of want to screenshot that. That's kind of funny. She's doing like the thinker, bro. What is she doing? We see Sodoko again, like doing the whole, like checking people off the list thing before we, what's the word? embark, I guess. What's the boats leaving a port? There's a word for it. This is nice as well, right? So we have the first year freshman group, maybe gone through a little bit of a realization process over the past day about how what they did was bad, and now they want to apologize for it and say we'll do better in the future. Good camaraderie group stuff, but I mean, yeah, you guys should try at the club you're attending. That would be good. And apparently now Miho's going to deal with every single part of the tactics, showing that your tactics were pretty bad, Momo, so we're going to focus on hers, which were better in the second half. And this is apparently from St. Gloriana's as well. A bunch of teacups, it looks like, to our new friend. So again, a difference to the style of Senshido we've done in the past with Miho, right? Where it was a little bit boring by the numbers, but good, but not very fun. It almost strangles the competition instead of a bit of a more of a free flowing thing. Now we've made friends as a result. We had a fun game as opposed to just a game. It's a sign of respect from the school. It was more fun than competing against your sister, which is funny. Just the shade. And yeah, let's fight in an official match next time. So maybe that's on the agenda at some point. And apparently St. Gloriana only sends tea to those they deem worthy opponents. And then we jump straight into, what do we call this? The Senshido High School Championship. The 63rd of which. We jump straight in. We draw lot 8. Almost like fucking Champions League style, pulling out a ballot. And we see the different schools here. Viking Fisheries High School, Koala Forest Academy. Let's go Koala Forest Academy. Let's go. Pravda High School, Maginot, I believe that's the French. I'm bad. Anzio High School? Hang on. I know. Anzio is like the name of an OVA. What happens here? Maybe this competition here, this championship, gives way to a different championship later in the series that'll make up most of the finale and that kind of thing. I do not know. Or maybe it's all based around this. Again, I noticed that Black Forest Girls Academy is on the different side of the bracket there. Maybe we'll fight against St. Gloriana's at some point. BC Freedom Academy, Yogurt Academy, Continuation High School, Chihatan Academy. I think we get more schools later as well. So we're playing against Saunders High as well. I've implied some stuff about American in that, right? Saunders. And correct me if I'm wrong, this is Maho, I think. Just sitting in the back row, just watching. And her sister's just down there. I don't know, it's a bit weird. Apparently we're also, the school we're playing next is one of the hardest opponents. So I wonder how that's going to play out. Probably pretty poorly. I think we need to go into a little bit of a training arc or something and get a little bit better. Yeah, Saunders. And then we're playing it's Peter Rabbit or something. What's that song? I'm looking it up. I have a few things here. John Brown's Body and Battle Hymn of the Republic, as well as Little Peter Rabbit, which is using the same melody, obviously, and apparently Solidarity Forever. The history roots here seem to be some abolitionist stuff during the song was popular in the Union during the Civil War. So some 19th century American stuff. So very, very patriotic, right? And definitely a American reference, which is what I thought it was, which is good. It's good when I'm correct. It's an American folk song. And we see the shot expand out and show approximately a billion tanks. So again, classic sports show stuff is we have this group of tanks, right? This is showing scale. So we just picked whoever we had for our team for All Rai Academy, right? They get to pick their best. That's what I'm getting from this. It's a large group of people, and they get to pick their best. Yeah, again, classic stuff, right? If you have everybody in the school trying out and so much participation, you're going to get the cream to rise to the top, and they're probably very, very good. So I wonder if we're going to win. I wonder if we're just going to kind of fly out of this tournament very early, or this tournament's going to encompass more of the structure of the season. We will see. We'll have to see. I think I honestly might call it here. This feels like a really good stopping point. So I'm cautious to go any further than that right now. Also, keeping in mind that for both real life and the channel, it's going to be very, very busy next few days. So maybe just cut my losses here and leave it at that. But yeah, the episode good, has some stuff that I think could have been done better, but as a whole, it's still supremely watchable and very, very fun. So, like, what are our real goals here? Are we about, like, sharp, tight writing and character stuff, or are we about having a little bit of fun? I don't know. I don't want to be a party pooper in that regard. Yeah, so say I was watching this casually, I would definitely be watching more right now. Put it that way. But yeah, that's everything for today. Predictions wise, I believe that, again, we're probably going to go into a little bit of a training arc back to school. Just chill out there for a bit before I'm imagining 6, 7, potentially even 8 being this Saunders Academy type job, right? Where they seem to be the next big opponent. We have a little bit more of a feel for the actual structure of a fight and a battle there. I wonder if it's a best of 1 or a best of 3 or whatever the hell. Maybe that's how we can expand it out even further. Are we going to introduce the school first and a few of those characters to give us a little bit more drama? That's what I would do. Other than that, just continual focus on our group and how they're reacting to things. There's a few characters in the opening we haven't seen yet, notably those weird-looking girls, I think, that are in that one shot in the opening, as well as the mechanics, who I think may come into it very, very soon as well. Yeah, that's about it. Looking forward to more next week. Probably going to be the 2 episodes, you would imagine. Either way, thank you very much for watching this week. Gonna do my shill stuff now, so if you liked the video and you liked watching it today, consider liking that video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Moving on up more towards 1,000 subscribers. We're closer than we were before. I'd like to make it to 1,000. That'd be fun. What else do I normally say? Comments. You should comment on the video what you thought about episode 4, anything else, my presentation, and anything else in between. Comment below. Follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord, discuss all things Girls und Panzer, and anything else on the channel, and anything else at all, really, that you want to on the Discord. It's cool. You should join it. And yeah, I'm going to say goodbye for today with the promise of 2 next week and all the Girls und Panzer goodness that comes with that. So again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.